Hello folks, today we're going to talk about why creators are switching to Lumix. Last week we talked about why creators are switching from Lumix to other camera companies, right? And thank you for keeping the conversation really constructive down below. Of course, there's always going to be those to let's not offend nobody, those two interesting people commenting just for the sake of commenting, but thank you for the conversation, and let's try to keep the same thing here. Only constructive conversations. If you don't have anything to say, you are annoyed or anything for whatever reason, and for what I'm saying, just put a thumbs down below. You're still supporting anyway, and then move on with your life. So let's get into the video. The first point is going to be IBIS. We all know that Lumix has the best IBIS in the game, hands down. So we can't say anything diverse from that, right? So many creators are finding that really useful for their work. So gimbal work, weddings, and things like that. So that's one of the main reasons why people are switching to Lumix, for the effectiveness of the IBIS. The second reason might be sorry, I'm a little bit sick, that's why. But the second reason might be the real reason why people are actually, or the main reason why people are actually switching to Lumix system, and that is for the anamorphic shooting, right? So Lumix is currently the only camera company in the full frame market that offers mirrorless full frame market. Let me adjust that. That offers open gate, right? So that gives a lot more of real estate for anamorphic shooting. Basically gives way more space when you go to squeeze your image for anamorphic lenses. So that's really, really cool. And on top of that, the IBIS will work in conjunction with the squeeze format. You just have to set it up. And that is something that seems that creators are really, really enjoying quite a lot nowadays in this system. So they decide to just switch it up and basically create more, right? And basically start creating more anamorphic shootings that basically will help them more, because you have the squeeze internally into the camera, even though it seems that many are asking for the X1.5 squeeze format that Lumix currently don't have yet. It has the 1.6, so maybe it will come in the future for more update, maybe not, who knows. But you have all the other beautiful squeeze modes, so that's be it. Another reason why I didn't actually explain it well in the anamorphic shooting mode, it's because you have the 3x2 open gate, right? So the 3x2 open gate allows you to use the full sensor readout. So the 3x2, right? So 3x2, right? So it makes you basically use the full readout of the sensor. And open gate is quite something that probably not many people still quite understand, but you don't have only 3x2 open gate. You have the 4x3 open gate, then you have like the 7:9 ratio of open gate, which will sound a little bit weird, but that's what the Blackmagic Pocket 6K Pro lineup of camera uses. They actually use 7:9, so basically DCI format, because that's what the sensor is. So what is open gate? Open gate is basically the full readout of your sensor. So the sensor that you have in your camera, that is an open gate. Like if your camera is allowed, or they allow your camera to read that whole sensor instead of putting that 16:9 or 17:9 bars, that is your whole sensor readout when they take those bars away and they allow you to film with all of that, if you understand me. But basically, OpenGate in full frame is not only 3x9, but it depends 3x2, but it depends what kind of sensor you use into, or the company uses into your camera. Because even, for example, ARRI cameras, they are all basically OpenGates cameras because they allow you to shoot the full readout of that camera, if you understand what I mean. But if you don't understand, we can have a conversation down below, and maybe I'll bring out a video where I explain a little bit better. But yeah, 3x2 is one of the main features why Anamorphic is super good for creators, because it helps them having more real estate when they are shooting because of the full readout of the sensor, so they don't lose anything by using that 17x9, which crops a little bit into your frame, or crops, they cut out a little bit from your frame, or the 16x9 that cut a little bit less than 17x9 but still cuts a little bit from the frame, while 3x2 don't cut anything. It makes you use everything. So yeah, I'm probably spending too much time on this. Let's do maybe another video. If you want that video, let me know down below so I can explain a little bit more what a OpenGate in general actually is. The third reason is vlog, right? So vlog is by far one of my favorite log formats to edit and grade. Like, it's buttery smooth, it looks beautiful out of camera. When you slap that Rec 709 LUT on top of it, it's nice, it's crisp. You just maybe have to put a little bit of contrast and saturation in it, and you are already in a good state to move on with your life and start doing whatever you have to do. And on top of that, you have real-time LUT function, where you can basically just record directly with your LUT already baked into the image, like I do, save you a lot of time in post, and save you a lot of time if you have to do some social media things, and that's pretty good. The next reason why people love so much the Lumix system is the fact that they can use basically the Lumix S5IIX as their B or C cam with their Blackmagic cameras, because you can externally output BRaw, 12-bit BRaw from this camera, as you can do in the S5 and the S5 Mark II. But the S5 Mark II, you need a locking key like the S1 and the S1H Mark Is. You need to buy a 200 locking key that then you will put into your camera, and they will unlock this feature. But the S5 Mark IIX and the S5 come already with this feature, and they are beautiful. The image is beautiful. With the S5 Mark IIX though, it comes a little bit, I have to say, the color tone, it's maybe a little bit warmer, but it's still pretty beautiful image that if you put it with any Blackmagic camera, it's going to match perfectly with minimum color grading. So that makes it perfect, you know, for as can see for all your Blackmagic cameras. The next reason is the exposure tools that you have. Nowadays, you have a lot of exposure tools into the monitors. I'm actually using a monitor here. That's why I keep watching the monitor of the camera. And you can basically have false color and all of that, or waveforms and all of that into the monitor, right? But this camera has all of that baked in, except false color. But you can get false color through LUT, which I believe you can do that with many other camera companies out there. But waveforms, Lumix have had it since the S5, since the GH lineup of cameras, which other camera companies have started to deliver that only like lately. And then you have luminance spot that Lumix is the only one to offer for extra extra like reading tool for your luminance and your shadows, for example. I mean, it's called luminance spot, so yeah, whatever. And then you have histogram, as all the other cameras have, which is not the best exposure tools, but you still have that. And then you have vector scope that I never use, but it seems that a lot of people like to use it. I never use it personally into the camera. I rather use a vector scope on my monitor and the waveforms into the camera. But hey, if you like to use it, you have it, you can use it. The last but not the least thing is people are switching to this system because they are trying to build up probably for the S1H Mark II arrival, right? So of course, people will not get into a system for the hope of what they will get into the future or better. Some people will do that, but many others will not do that, right? But we know that the S1H is behind the corner. Before the end of this year anyway, is coming. And we kind of have the hinge that is not going to be what we are used to see. It might actually come in a different form factor and with exciting things, but we will talk about that in another video in a bit, because there are some news that are coming out now slowly through Andrea Pizzini, which is the CEO of almontrumors.com, for example. So soon we are going to receive more and more things, but the S1R Mark II is going to be delivered from now to about 2 to 3 weeks now. We will have most probably an announcement from Lumix about that. Then there is a second registration for another camera that we don't know what it is, but Andrea Pizzini have said that it's going to be quite an interesting camera according to the sources that he's talking to. And then the third one most probably is going to be the S1H Mark II. So yeah, but again, let's have a conversation down below. Today is my birthday, so consider subscribing. It would be a beautiful gift for me. And put a thumbs down if you didn't like anything of what I said, or if you had a bad day and you need to just like get your anger out. But down below, let's just have constructive feedback, constructive conversation, questions, or teaching things, because I learn from you, you learn from me if there is anything to learn. And let's just not fight about unnecessary things. There are so many problems in this world to be fighting about camera gears and point of views, right? But yeah, I'm gonna go take care of myself because I'm gonna go work soon. Take good care of yourself, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. Goodbye, guys.